Hello and welcome to another episode of my Declutter series. Today we are going over powder blushes. So these are my powder blushes and I have 36. I'm actually breaking up my blush declutter into powder, liquid, and cream because I have a lot in each category and I need to focus on it and really get it down. And especially with my powders, I have probably the least amount of powders. However, in my daily use of blushes, I tend to go for the palettes that I have. As you can see, I don't have any Pat McGrath individual single blushes. However, I use that palette that I have a lot. And I use a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury ones, the Hourglass palettes. So I tend to use palettes when I go for a blush. I don't know why that is, but I don't really utilize the single blushes all that often. I do occasionally. So a lot of these, like I'm looking at all of these and there isn't any that I don't like. These are all great blushes. They're all the ones that I like. So this is gonna be a hard declutter for me because I'm not gonna be decluttering because there's bad quality or I don't like the shade or anything like that. I'm just kind of narrowing it down to a few and maybe each brand and each category because I just utilize palettes more often when I use a blush. So I have 36. As you can see, I have a lot in individual brands. I have a couple individuals here, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I have done in other videos, there will be timestamps below by the brand. So if you are looking at, curious about the Givenchy or Jane Iredale, go down and look and you can kind of just skip the section and go to that section so that you can look at that brand. I'll be doing swatches today and trying to go through. So this is a really good video to get swatches and comparisons. So I'm going to go ahead and start with these three NARS. These are three NARS blushes. I have the shades Deep Throat, Orgasm X, and Taj Mahal. I'll swatch them. I'm pretty sure, so Orgasm X, I'm gonna declutter because I have this one in the palette. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one. So this is Orgasm X. I have this in a palette, so I am going to declutter this one. And then we have, this is gonna be Deep Throat. So Deep Throat is pretty pale. I'm gonna declutter this one as well because it's very similar to the one that I have in the palette. I think it's very similar to Orgasm, and I have that in the palette. And then this is Taj Mahal. Now, this is a very unique blush, but as you can see, I've barely used it. I'm right now, I'm going to declutter this one as well because I think that's kind of similar to the Orgasm Rush in that palette. And I really utilize that. And I don't really know if I will use, I've had this for a while and I haven't used it. So I'll reassess at the end, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this in the declutter pile for now. And also talking about a palette that I use a lot is Hourglass. This is the Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush in Incandescent Electra. To be honest, I've used it a couple times. It's a paler blush. And I have the Hourglass. It's not my favorite blush anyway, but I also have the Hourglass palette. Right now, the only one I have is Leopard. That's the only one I've kept. And I think there's blushes in there that I like more, so I am going to declutter the Hourglass blush as well. Okay, and then let's take a look at the one from Natasha Denona. This is the only Natasha Denona blush I have. I don't have any palettes from Natasha Denona. This is the My Mini Dream Glow Blush. This just came out. So this has like the two blushes and then the shimmer, but then you can also make this one blush. So that's the one shade, really pretty. And I did a whole video on it. I think it's a really great little blush palette. I really like it. And then you can kind of do a glowy blush like that. So definitely keeping this. I really like it. It's just it takes up no space at all. So I am going to keep this one. I really like this. Another one that's new to my collection is this one from Givenchy. This is the Prisme Libre blush in shade 1 Mousseline Lilas, I think it is. I have the powder and I just got this. This is a blush. I haven't even used it. You can see I actually just got it. I got it in an influencer. So let me take it off. Okay, so you can see it's just kind of like the loose powder. I really like the loose powder like this, so I was thrilled to receive this because it's not cheap. Beautiful blush. I just got it. It's kind of got like a lavender. You mix it together. but I'm really excited to try it. So obviously I'm keeping it. I just got it. I just unsealed it. I want to try it, but I'm also pretty sure I'm going to love it. Then I have this little mini from Tarte. I think I've used this like once or twice. This is Seduce. This is, I believe, the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. It's a really pretty blush, but I'm going to be honest with myself, and I'm never going to use it because it's a pretty nude, really pretty nude blush. However, it's just too tiny. Like there's tiny and compact, and then there's too tiny. And I kind of feel like this is in the too tiny category. So I am going to declutter this. I'll probably give it to somebody. But for me, it's a beautiful shade though. The Seduce is a really pretty nude shade, but I have other shades like that. So I am going to declutter this one. Next up, we have this one from Patrick Ta. This is the Monochrome Moment, the Velvet Blush. This is in the shade She's Adorable. This is not the duo. I don't have the duo. Okay, my connection got lost. But I love this blush. It's a really pretty blush. You can see it here. It's just like this beautiful peachy pink. I think it's stunning. I wear it a lot. You can't even tell, like I've made a dent in it. The emblem's gone, but it's just a gorgeous blush. I think people overlook these because everybody talks about the duos, and I'm sure the duos are fantastic, but I think this is just the most gorgeous blush, so I'm definitely keeping this one from Patrick Ta. Okay, next up is this one from Bobbi Brown. This is just the blush. It is the new reformulated. They just said this to me. I just took it out of the box. This is in the shade Antigua Shimmer. It's a really nice, so first of all, I love the size of it. This is what I mean where it's small, but it's not too small. And it's just small enough. I think any smaller would have been too small, but because I guess it's round, this one I just feel like it's just too tiny, where this is, and now this is full size. So this is a full size Bobbi Brown blush, but I just got this, so I am going to keep it because I do want to try it. And I have some Bobbi Brown blushes, but I don't have any powder blushes. So it's a really pretty shade. I like it. It looks like it's going to be a nice neutral pink. So I am going to keep that one. You know, again, it doesn't take up much space. I just got it, so I definitely want to, you know, play around with it a bit. Okay, and then next we have these from Sephora. So I have a whole video on Sephora on these blushes. This is the reformulated Sephora Colorful Blush. I think these run about $13 and they're fantastic. Some are better than others. I would say avoid the lightest shades. Some of the lightest shades I have heard are very, very pale. They're not that colorful, but the ones that I have are all great. However, I have 8. Now this one I purchased because it's like a contour. This is in the shade 35 Second Chance. I haven't even done, I just got this in the last Sephora sale. It's kind of like a contour shade, so I picked it up in the last Sephora sale. These during the Sephora sale cost less than $10. So now they've since come out with actual contours. So, but this one is in the blush range. So I am going to keep this one. I just got it, but it's also not a blush technically. I haven't really used it as a contour. It's very gray. So I am going to see what I do with it, or if I buy the contour during the next sale, but that's the reason why I have this one. But then I have these 7. So let's go ahead and swatch all of them because I need to get this down. I have 5 shimmers and 2 mattes, and I definitely need to get this down. So let me go through all of them. Okay, so this is the shade 23 Passionate. I think this was the first one I bought, one of the ones that convinced me to buy more. Next up is 27 Charmed. So again, really pretty shade. So these are they're all really pretty, and they're also compact, but again, I just have way too many. Okay, this is 49 Shine Bright. So this one needs a little bit more building up. It's kind of on the lighter side. Okay, and this is 48 Free Spirit. Again, this is a pink, but it's kind of on the lighter side. And then the last of the shimmers is 16 Heated. So those are the 5 shimmer shades. Okay, so the 2 matte shades I have are 1 Shame on You. Okay, so this is 1 Shame on You. And this one is one that I think is a little bit less pigmented. It's still pretty, just needs probably a little bit more building up. And then this is 6 Flirt It Up. This one is a really pretty bright pink. And okay, so looking at them, I'm gonna declutter the 2 matte. I have this in another shade, and it's a shade I'm not gonna wear very often. And I have this elsewhere. I think in, like, you know, between NARS. If I want something like that, I have NARS. I have the Charlotte Tilbury one. I just have a lot more in that. So I don't want to declutter the 2 mattes for sure, but now the shimmers, those are going to be challenging. Okay, so looking at my arm, I'm going to cut this collection in half. So I'm keeping the gray one, so for contour. I'm going to keep Passionate, which is my first one I loved, Charmed, and then I'm going to keep Heated. Those are the 3 color shimmers I'm going to keep. I'm going to declutter these 2 in the middle, and then I'm keeping that. So I'm cutting it in half. I wanted to cut it down by more, but the good thing is that these don't take up a lot of space either. Okay, and now we're moving on to these 2 from Lawless. These are pretty new to my collection. I think I've used them, and I think I've swatched them and maybe used them once. So I'm going to be keeping both of them because I want to use them a little bit. This is the Make Me Blush, Velvet Blush, and this is in the shade Vintage Love. So yeah, that is a really pretty shade. That is like, it's almost like a lavender. That is unique. That's a gorgeous shade. So I am definitely keeping that one. And then the other shade I have is Desert Rose. So this one is definitely brighter and pinkier. Wow, that is, I mean, these are so creamy. These are amazing. So I'm definitely keeping these. I need to get these on in the front of my drawer so that I can use them. Hopefully this declutter will help. But those are 2 really pretty shades that I think are a little bit unique to my collection. Okay, and then I have these 2 from Bare Minerals. I just recently got these. I got these during the Sephora sale. I think these were in a kit and like they came together and they were on sale, and then I got them during the Sephora sale. So this is the Bare Minerals GenNude Powder Blush. This is Call My Blush, and a really pretty, very nice formula. I just don't know if I'm going to use this one. I think like I have this shade in other things, so like it's a gorgeous color, but I have it in so many different things. So that one I'm gonna think about. And then this is the Blonzer. This is the Blush and Bronzer, and it is called Kiss of Pink. These, I've been wanting to try this, and I bought that set for this, and this is Kiss of Pink, and yes, that is gorgeous. Totally keeping this one. So I'm definitely keeping that one. But I am going to declutter this one. It's pretty new. I mean, I literally have just swatched it. I think I've maybe used it once. So I am going to declutter this one, probably gift it to somebody who will get use out of it because it's practically new. But the Blonzer, I'm definitely keeping. And then we have these 3 from Charlotte Tilbury. These are the Cheek to Chic, and they are, or you can call them the Boob Blush. You can see, I believe this is Ecstasy. Yes, this is Ecstasy. This is the first one I have. And then this is Pillow Talk Intense. So this one is much darker. So it's kind of nicknamed the Boob Blush, and you can see why. And then, of course, I have Pillow Talk. So we'll kind of show them all here. And you got all 3. The problem is that I don't really utilize these often, and I used to use the Ecstasy quite a bit. I'm just going to swatch it all as one shade, but because I have other blushes, especially from Charlotte Tilbury, I tend to reach into them more often. So that's Ecstasy. That's really pretty, but I used to use that one a lot, and I just don't reach into it anymore. So I am going to declutter that one. And then Pillow Talk Intense, I think I just don't reach into it because it is on the darker side for me. So it is really pretty. It's more of a nude type, you know, blush. But for me, that's just not, I just don't reach into it. So I am going to declutter that one as well. And then of course we have Pillow Talk. And I use this one a lot. I do use this one a lot. And I am, let's see. So let's do it one. I use this one quite a bit. I mean, I have other blushes from Charlotte Tilbury. So that's the Pillow Talk Intense. I think I am going to keep this one. Let's go ahead and just do the outside. I think I am going to keep this one because, you know, it's such a neutral, nice neutral shade of blush. And yeah, I am going to keep that one. It's gorgeous. I want to keep one of the original Cheek to Chic Charlotte Tilbury blushes. So I am going to keep Pillow Talk and declutter Pillow Talk Intense and Ecstasy. Okay, and next we have these from Givenchy. These are the Feelin Cheeky Amplifying Blush Duo. These, I have all 6 shades. They were sent to me by the brand. I did the video. I actually really like these. These are gorgeous. You basically have a matte and a shimmer in the same shade. You can use them together. You can use them separate. So I like that because you don't have to choose one or the other, but you got the same shade. So I really like the concept of it. Reason why I haven't been wearing them is because they're kind of bulky. They're kind of bulky, and that's the problem that I've been having with Givenchy is that because of my collection so large is that it's just bulky. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get this down to one blush that I know I'm going to wear. Ex-Girlfriend is one that I think is gorgeous. I'm just never going to wear this shade, and I just don't reach for a shade like this. As much as it looks pretty, and I know it looks pretty on me, I just don't reach for it. So I do have a full video. I'll put it in the corner right up here. Let's go ahead and swatch. So again, this is Ex-Girlfriend. So I'm going to swatch both shades for you. So this is Ex-Girlfriend. Next up, we have Crush on You. So this is Crush on You. Next up, we have Flirty Talk. Okay, so here is Flirty Talk. Next, we have Honeymoon Phase. This is the one that really surprised me because it's a lavender, and I was surprised at how beautiful it looked on me. I mean, it sounds, you know, kind of, I don't know, I was surprised how much I liked it. Next up is Lasting Love. So here is Lasting Love. So here is Lasting Love. And then finally we have Stars Aligned. So here is Stars Aligned. Here is Stars Aligned. So, okay, so I am going to declutter the first four. I mean, these are for sure I'm going to declutter. As much as I really liked the lavender I was really surprised at how much I liked it on me and everything. I'm never going to reach for it. I know myself, I'm just not going to reach for it. I wore lavender eyeshadow the other day and I didn't even think to reach in for this blush. So I am going to declutter those four. The two I'm looking at are these two, Stars Aligned and Lasting Love. So those are the two I am thinking about, and I'm really struggling. So I am going to, right now I'm going to keep them both. Right now I'm going to keep them both because I actually really like the blush. They're different enough. So I'm going to keep them both for now. I think if I were to pick one, I would probably pick Stars Aligned, but I also don't want to get rid of Lasting Love either. I'm not sure if I have anything like that. So I am going to get rid of these four. I think they're gorgeous, but I can give them to somebody who will definitely get more use out of them. Okay, and then finally we're going to take a look at these from Jane Iredale. These are the Pure Press blushes. I have 6. I picked up a bunch during one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty when they were 50% off. I've been meaning to do a video, and I am going to do a video swatching all 6 and trying on all 6 because they are fabulous blushes. I've used a couple of them a couple times. They're just amazing. I really, I want to start using Jane Iredale more. I bought it for when I had my laser treatment. But I do want to declutter some of these because, again, it's not because I don't like them. It's because I tend to use the palettes, and it just is what it is. But I do like these blushes. So let me go ahead and pull them out, and we can take a look and see at the and do some swatches. Okay, so here are all the 6 shades that I have, and as you can see, they kind of look alike. So, but these 3 are kind of on the peachy warm side, and then these are on the pinky cool side. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch all of them. So the first up, we have Whisper. Here is Whisper, so it's really pale. Next up, this is Copper Wind. Okay, so this is Copper Wind. Third, we have Mocha. Okay, and here is Mocha. Fourth is Barely Rose. Okay, so there's Barely Rose. Next up is Cotton Candy. Okay, here is Cotton Candy. And then finally we have Awake, and here is Awake. So those are the 6 shades that I have. So you can see that I have the 3 that are warm. These are all, they're very similar. So I am going to do that video. So I am keeping them in the meantime. However, so this could change. But right now, I am going to keep the Copper Wind. So I think I'm going to keep Copper Wind. This one I think is really pretty. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Mocha too. Yeah, actually, I am going to keep Mocha. I'm going to keep Mocha, and I'm going to keep this one here, which is Cotton Candy. So those are the 2 that I'm going to keep. I'm going to declutter the rest, I think, for now. Not that one. They're all pretty similar. I am working on that video, so I could change my mind after I do that video. But right now, I'm going to keep Copper Wind and Cotton Candy and declutter these 4. Okay, so here is my entire collection again, and the final tally is I have 20 in the declutter pile and 16 in the keep pile. So again, 20, 16. I had 36. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't cut it down more because I know that I just reach for blushes and palettes, and that's just how it is. Now, this one technically isn't a blush, so I could kind of not count that one. But when I'm looking at these, there's none I want to get rid of. And honestly, the Jane Iredale are going to be questionable because once I do that video, I might change my mind. The blush is fantastic, but I do think I only need 2 of a brand, you know, kind of a warm and a cool tone. This Blonzer, I've been wanting it. Absolutely great. The Lawless one is unique, pretty, and even the Sephora ones. I think I could get rid of the Sephora ones, but they don't take up much room. I mean, they're pretty compact. They don't take up much room, and they're really good quality. And I like having more affordable options. I think, you know, people recommend drugstore. I would recommend these over a drugstore blush. And then during the Sephora sale, these are going to be 30% off. They're under $10. Fantastic. Even like not during the Sephora sale, I think they're $14, 13 or 14. Totally worth it. So I think these are great. And then the Pillow Talk, I always do Pillow Talk videos. So I wish I had decluttered more. However, I still cut it more than half, and I'm really, you know, I'm somewhat pleased with this. There's really none that are questionable. So that's it. So I have 20 in the declutter, 16 in the keep. Coming up next, we'll have either cream or liquid. I don't know which is going to be next. I have a lot in both. I really need to cut those down. But with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.